We are part of the Fired Up Sports Network of shows. Please check out other Fired Up Sports Network podcasts like the P-Lot Pod, Water Cooler Talk, Bell Smashers, Philly Sports Love and Pain, Drunk on Broad, Beer Battered Sports, and the Fired Up Sports Show, which are available on all major podcasting hosting sites and social media. Also, check out Mark Ramos' Roundup on firedupsports.com, which breaks down the happenings going on with all your favorite local teams.
Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
E-A-T-L-E-S Eagles!
Swinging a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes!
Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
That's all I gotta say. What a fucking barf. That was god awful. That was by far has got to be one of the most disappointing, awful, just everything on the line, didn't even show up kind of performance, man.
I don't even play for the team and I'm embarrassed.
Rich, we normally give the double birds out at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think we got handsome out right about now because that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad on a lot of levels.
Fuck Nick Sirianni. Fuck Brian Johnson. And fuck Sean Desai. Matt Patricia, you catch one.
Matt
too.
Patricia, yeah.
Bro,
you can all catch one.
That game was atrocious in all ways. The fact that we're winning at halftime with barely having the ball on offense, with the 98-yard Sidney Brown pick six, everything's looking great. Eagles think they're going to coast, and then our defense just can't stop anyone. Like our defense,
four straight possessions where you gave up a touchdown.
Our defense is like those like insurgents in war who have rocks and are like real ballsy and throw them at tanks. Like that's our defense. It's like, oh shit! Like if I peg this tank with this rock, it'll stop. Nah, the tank's gonna come in and just destroy everything. And that was the Cardinals' offense. The Cardinals, we made the Cardinals look like they're a 12 and 5 team. It's fucking embarrassing, dude. It's embarrassing week in and week out talking about this shit. And honestly, like I'm disgusted. And even in our normal group chats, I have nothing. Like I have nothing to say because we see it and we know. And that's the shitty part. The shitty part is we know and we know what we're talking about. And the fact is you have Nick Sirianni who will not adjust his offense. You have Brian Johnson who can't fucking adjust his offense. You have two guys who took over and they have equally as worse defense. Like they're two halves of a whole fucking idiot. So you split it down the middle and you still got a shit product.
Yeah.
And
you see no in-game adjustments. You see no the lack of desire is it jumps off the TV.
Bro, you ran a screenplay with fucking Devontae Smith, Slim Reaper, not Swole, not Fat Batman, not Swole Batman. Skinny Batman is your fucking lead blocker. How dumb are you? Did you not watch the Texans game when Tank fucking Dell broke his leg? What in your right mind thinks that is the right decision? It's stupid, Don. We are running a high school fucking off. We're running a junior Pee Wee Unlimited's offense. That's what we're running right now. You got fucking your best wide receiver hurt. And yes, I am saying he's our best wide receiver because he is our best route runner. You got your best fucking wide receiver hurt 2 weeks before the fucking playoffs. How fucking dumb are you? How stupid? Can you honestly look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a good fucking coach by that play call? Fuck no. It's starting to get
here's what makes it what makes it worse is you have the Cowboys lose the night on Saturday night. You had the opportunity to secure the number 2 seed, to secure back-to-back, NFC East division, titles, and you had everything to play. You had the chance to secure for a home game, at least possibly 2, maybe 3.
No. They beat the Lions.
But what I'm saying is, like, you have that game play out the way that it does.
Oh yeah.
So that way you can secure the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have it all in front of you. We're
not beating anybody.
No,
we're one and done in the playoffs. If anybody wants to agree, throw your comments in. We're one and fucking done. If anybody wants to disagree, please tell me why.
Yeah.
Please tell me why. Please tell me why you think this team is going to make a run in the playoffs.
Well, there's no reasonably thinking adult that is watching what they've watched in the course of the last couple of weeks, and you're not seeing anything close to what you saw when they started one. And Rich, you could have, if you would have told me that after that Bills game, when they go they win that game, they go 10-1, that they would look as bad as they've looked in this next stretch of games.
Yeah.
I would have never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that it would have gone as south as it did, as fast as it did, to the point where you let Greg Dortch and James Conner look like Pro Bowl
players. You let their
players.
special teams wide receiver, who literally got bumped off the depth chart, their wide receiver 5 beat you. That's their wide receiver 5. Like, it's pathetic.
The guy
I am not excited. I'm not excited to watch the Eagles, bro. I'm not excited. There's nothing for me to get excited about. There really isn't. And then I listen to Brian Johnson's bullshit, and it's we saw this, and we saw the pressure, so we decided to throw a screen. All right, so every team's going to fucking start pressuring you now, and then you're automatically going to throw a screen? San Francisco, when they played us, Christian McCaffrey's on the sideline fucking trying to tell the Eagles, we know your fucking plays. Trying to tell us, we know your plays, switch it up. They were calling out our fucking plays on the field.
Well, and you saw the next
fucking calling it out.
Well, and you saw him next week, like on the
calling the plays out
with the Manning cast.
That is going to be a design QB run.
The Seahawks game.
All right, he went straight. It's so fucking dumb, man. Like
it's so bad. It's bad on so many levels. And the guy that we thought that would be dangerous, Trey McBride, right? He gets 6 catches for 48 yards. Like,
doesn't do shit. James Conner, you just couldn't stop him.
You literally, and they just, like, James Conner, 26 carries. 26 carries for 128 yards. He just ran wherever they were able to get, wherever they wanted. This
is my first beer since fucking like 3 days before Christmas. And I'm not even enjoying it, but I needed one to talk about this team tonight because that's how much I'm pissed off. That's how much I'm pissed off.
So where does this rank in terms of like all-time no show-up performances?
Can we talk? Are we talking the past few games? Or are we talking about just the Cardinals?
No, I'm saying like where this loss, this you just didn't show up kind of performance. Where does that rank definitely for you in terms of like the last couple games? I mean, the 49ers.
Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you?
This
is probably my number one. In the past
with
10 years.
With everything that's on the line, yeah.
With everything that's on the line, this is my number one. You literally could have had and locked up the NFC East, and that's what you did. And to be honest with you, we have a bunch of fucking prima donna pussies playing on this team. And Darius Slay be one of them. I can't wait till he's cut. I really can't wait till Darius Slay's cut. I'm sick of the fucking bullshit. I'm sick of him being so fucking soft. I'm sick of Bradbury. Dude, I want them both gone. I really do. I want them both gone. I want A.J. Brown fucking fed. I want an offense that looks good. And to be honest with you, if Antonio Pierce doesn't get the head coaching job with the Raiders, I want him to be my defensive coordinator. I want him to be my defensive coordinator. Look how he turned that fucking defense around. Josh McDaniels, that cancer, leaves the fucking organization. Antonio Pierce fucking kicks it up a notch. Give me a guy like that. If there's no way these coordinators can survive. If they survive this offseason, I'm not watching the Eagles next year.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be fucking terrible. It's going to be unwatchable. It's at the point of being unwatchable.
And it essentially makes this game, the game coming up this weekend, a moot point. Like, yes, yes, there is the potential if the Cowboys lose, then you win, you secure the East, you possibly get the 2 seed. But at this point, Rich, what you said earlier is absolutely spot on. It really doesn't matter to me if they're number 2, if they're number 5. It doesn't matter to me what I see this weekend because it's looked so bad.
They're not going to blow the Giants out. They're not going to blow them out. It's going to be a close fucking game.
And here's the other thing is that like you're going to be scoreboard watching too to see what's going on with that with the Cowboys Commanders game because if that game
race them.
Yeah, if that game gets out of hand early, you're probably going to see a bunch of guys get pulled because there's really no point in playing them in the second half.
Washington's without like half their defense this week.
Right.
So it don't fucking matter.
No,
and I'm not,
really
we shouldn't have to bank on fucking other teams losing. We should have did our job in the past fucking 4 weeks. We go through our hardest stretch of the schedule and we pull out these fucking wins, but we can't beat these fucking pathetic teams. Like it's so dumb, dude. It's so dumb. And I just can't get over how terrible our coaches are. I really can't. I can't get over how awful our offense is. I can't get over how fucking – dude, our defense doesn't even put up an effort. How we constantly drafting fucking linebackers when the game's evolved and you need them fucking kills us. Your front seven ain't shit. Ain't shit.
Well,
if middle of the field's wide open.
Something I wanted to bring up, right? So the move that they make, and this kind of speaks to the coaching a little bit, the move that they make, which is puzzling earlier on in the year when they cut Derek Barnett. Right now, Derek Barnett had his shit go on, right?
He wanted to be released, so they released him.
So
he's killing it right now. Because why? D'Amico Ryans was a great fucking defensive player, and he can teach you how to fucking get in, how to hit the quarterback, how to get free. That's what D'Amico Ryans can do. There's a difference when you actually have a coach who played in the NFL and played the position and knows the positions and can be like, hey, this is what you can do to be successful. This is what you can do to be successful. No, we got guys who've never played the game before who were trying to tell guys who were playing the game, oh, this is how it should be done. No, it don't fucking work. Like, and I'm sick of it. Derek Barnett is like fucking leading edge rushers right now with quarterback pressure.
In the last 3 games. 2.5 sacks, 7 QB hits, 15 pressures.
It speaks volumes to the coaching.
Right.
It speaks volumes to the organization.
Yeah, it really does. It really, and you couldn't tell me now that like that's not a guy that you can't use in a rotation. Like, was he what he was what he was, but like he was also an average NFL body. Like he was a guy who obviously we see when he's coached up can kind of rise to the occasion and play better.
It goes to a better system.
Yeah, it really is.
Adam, that's what we're talking about because we don't fucking know, bud. Yeah. I don't want Frank Wright. I don't want Frank Wright anywhere. He's going to be an advisor. He's going to be an advisor. Yeah. I am not giving him a job on my staff. There's no need for it. He needs to be an advisor, special advisor to this offense, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Keep him in the building, but do not give him any power. I don't need to see Frank Reich again, unless he's an advisor.
I need to see somebody that's going to come in and bring something
life?
That's going to get
spark?
that's going to breathe some life back into this organization. And Rich, the the move to move Desai off of the coaching and play calling and move him up into the booth and move Matt Patricia in there, it just screamed at desperation right away. And now there's no going back. You can't be like, oh, well, we're going to pull Sean Desai back onto the field, and we're going to put Matt Patricia back up in the booth. Like, you played that card, and you thought it was going to be the card that was going to give you some momentum, and it's almost looked worse, to be honest.
This team's
the way
cooked.
that
This team's
the fact that you have in this game, you have Hassan Reddick, who's between him and Sweat, their best pass rushers, and you put him in pass coverage on 10 plays. He's dropping down into coverage when he's your best pass rusher. Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's so fucking maddening.
Dude, our best pass rushers have been Fletcher Cox and Milton Williams, and Milt's not even playing like 40% of snaps.
No. So, and you know, you do get to hear AJ Brown
but again, it's bullshit because he's not going to throw a coach underneath the fucking bus saying it's the coach's fault. Yeah, you got to put the blame on the players. I'm going to blame everybody because the players don't look like they're fucking playing hard, and they're definitely not executing. But the coaching staff's not much better. You ran a fucking screenplay that got Devontae Smith killed.
What?
That's all I need to say. If I'm Howie, after that game, I go down and say, "Hey, man, thanks for being. See you later. You just killed our number two. Are you fucking dumb?" I would literally look him in the eyes and ask him, "Are you fucking simple? Are you fucking simple?" And then I'd say, "Give me your keys and get the fuck out of the building."
Let's go through that last stretch, right? Because they score, the Cardinals score to tie it, and they onside kick, which is a super ballsy move, right? Because you ensure that you're giving them a short field so that you're able to get the ball back. Go ahead.
Or is it? So put that in the back of your mind. Go on what you're saying. Was it super ballsy or was it extremely intelligent? Don, go on.
I think it's both. To be honest, I think it's both. I think he knew that
he knew what the Eagles were going to do. He knew what the Eagles were going to do. They were going to try to run out the clock and kick a field goal, but they weren't going to be able to get a first down. And that's exactly what happened. Jonathan Gannon was playing chess when we were playing checkers. He knew, what the field position. Eagles aren't going to go down and be aggressive. They're going to stick to their normal bullshit. If we stop them on first down, it's definitely going to be a passing down. They've been struggling. We blitz, and then on third down, it's going to be third and long. They suck at converting on third and long. And what happens? Just that. Then the Cardinals get the ball back.
Yeah, the play calling there, like, to me, I'm looking at it right. You have the swift run, right, where Mailata gets called for the holding. You're at 1st and 20. The biggest indictment is that in that moment when you needed to get your best player the ball, you took the ball and you ran 2 consecutive plays where you run the same exact play to the same exact side and you got the same fucking result. And then you know that you need to get yardage. You know that you could have been and should have been more aggressive on first and second down, and you get the ball in AJ Brown's hands, and you get the ball in Devontae Smith's hands, you get the ball in Dallas Goedert's hands, you get the ball in fucking DeAndre Swift's hands. Like, you get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, but you gave them the ball back, and you did it with stupid fucking shit that, like, I don't get the fascination with the fucking bubble screens. They drive me fucking nuts.
They're the worst plays in football. I hate them.
Like, the fact that you decided to get and that was your best move. Like, when the game's on the line, you got to get 20 yards. Like, that's your move. Two quarterback rushes to the same side, literally the same exact play. Like, you get on the play call and you go fucking ditto, do the same fucking thing again. Like, what are you, like, what are you fucking doing? Because I'm looking at it going, like, I even know that. I know that. And I just watch the game and sit on my fucking couch. Like, I'm not breaking down film. So go back to where we started. It was both that onside kick was both ballsy and fucking brilliant simultaneously because he knew that they were going to be shortchanging themselves, and they knew that they were going to play it safe and they were going to try to bleed the clock out. But he also knew the chances of them getting a first down with the way that their offense was playing was little slim to none. It's maddening. And you know, now you look at this, we look back at this stretch, right? And as impressive as they played through that gauntlet of games where you beat the Cowboys, you beat the Chiefs, you beat the Bills, like you get boat raced by the 49ers, you get boat raced by the Cowboys, you lose on almost on a similar. This game was almost eerily similar to the Seahawks game. You lost almost the same exact way. Like you beat the Giants on you barely beat the Giants on Christmas Day, and then you lose this fucking game on New Year's Eve. Like that, it just there to me. There's no way. I just don't see a way that this turns around, right? And you know I know that there's a lot of analogy, like the analogy of the what's it, the 2012 Ravens. I'm gonna try to pull it up. I sent it to Mike earlier when they were doing a show, but like so the 2012 Ravens, right? In week so that this is the year that they beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. They win in overtime in week 12. They lose week 13, 14, 15. They win week 16. They lose week 17. They go on to win the Super Bowl. Now, mind you, that is also a defense that had Ed Reed and Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
And gave up like almost next to no fucking points. They just at the same time had our boy Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Like,
and then all of a sudden in the playoffs, he was ridiculous.
He just became electric, right? And so obviously the analogy here, right? That this Eagles team wins in overtime in week 12, loses 13, 14, and 15, wins week 16, loses week 17. So the only commonality is the pattern, right? But that defense,
there's nothing else. Yeah, there's nothing else.
It's literally just a coincidence. But here's what I'll say, Rich. It would only be apropos for them to look this shitty through this whole stretch, make us go fucking bonkers, and then for by some miracle, some shit happens and they go on a fucking playoff run. Like it would only be Philadelphia if we were tormented mentally, physically, emotionally, and then they get us all fucking wrapped up in some playoff run.
Don, I hope, because I honestly,
I hope so too. But
I got nothing. I have no words like anymore. Like I really don't. Like I don't know what to say about this team because none of it is encouraging. None of it is encouraging. Everybody on both sides looks bad, except DeAndre Swift when they actually give him the ball. Like my whole theory is like when you're at the line and you see the cornerbacks playing 10 yards off A.J. Brown and I'm Jalen Hurts, I'm like, can't you just call like a quick screen and like get a quick hitter and let A.J. run for like 15 yards and pick up chunk plays that way and then make them come in and when they press, go over the top? Like, I just feel like I'm watching a different game. Like, I just feel like everything that I would do, on the field, it's just they do the opposite of, like, what is right. And I just don't get it. I really don't.
They do the opposite of what's logical.
And that's why I don't understand. Like you said, the two runs with Jalen Hurts to the same side. Why? I got nothing.
When the game is on the line and you got to get 20 yards. You got to get 20 yards.
It's so dumb.
That's where you went in the playbook. Like when the first one didn't work,
it hurts more talking about it than like me thinking about it in my head.
All right, so Rich,
yeah,
they play the Giants on Sunday afternoon.
Great.
Anything to glean, anything to watch, and at least in the first half, I'm gonna look and see if they got any kind of fight. But I'm not holding my breath for anything. I'm just gonna watch. I'm almost gonna watch that game, Rich, like I watched the Flyers this year, like with no fucking expectation at all. Because
they fucking lost against Columbus in a terrible game.
Listen, they're gonna fuck around and make the playoffs. They got like a 77% chance of making the playoffs this year.
The Flyers?
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. You would never know.
You wouldn't guess it. You wouldn't guess it.
No,
honestly, if I see a bubble screen within the first 5 minutes, I'm turning it off. And I'll put on Red Zone. I'll just turn it off and put on Red Zone. Because that's all I need to see is when is New York or the Eagles going to be in the red zone? Because I have no faith. Like, honestly, I have no faith. I want to be like, hey, something positive is going to happen, but it's hard, man. It's hard for me to like find a positive when the team has been so negative. And we've been screaming this from like week 3 on what we think needs to change. And they were 3-0. And then when they were 7-0, and then when they were 10-0, it's like we are screaming still of the shortcomings the Eagles have. Why? Because you don't become complacent when you're winning. You always look for a way to get better. That's what good teams do. This isn't a good football team. They're not. The product that you're seeing now is coaches watching 2 game films, picking up on the tendencies, and then game planning for it. Because let's be real. You have a playbook of 60 plays. You bring 12 into the week. Everybody knows that. And guess what? Those 12 plays are the same fucking plays. The only plays that they're running different are the brotherly shove when they might throw in a little razzle. That's the only creative thing that I've seen from Brian Johnson. And that is scary. Because you're not going to be in 4th and 1 all the fucking time. You need to show me that you can actually get some first downs on 1st and 2nd down. They are not capable of doing that. And that's terrifying.
Yeah, and listen, Rich, the way that it plays out right now, right? You got San Fran has already locked up the 1 seed. They're gonna host, right? And so now the Eagles being what will end up being the 5 seed, right? They're gonna probably go and play at Tampa.
That's cool. I like that.
Right. I don't hate that matchup. That you're gonna go down there, you're gonna play Baker. It'll be an exciting game, you know, and you kind of, I think at this point, any playoff experience is good experience, but you're going to have the Lions and the Rams matchup in Detroit. And then you'll have Green Bay. Right now, Green Bay is a 7 seed. They're going to go at Dallas. So, you know, the lowest seed left will go and play at San Fran. So you're looking at, what team do you like out of the NFC outside of San Fran?
The Rams.
Because San Fran is just okay.
Rams.
Talk about
they got hot at the right time. Dude, they're clicking on all cylinders. Good. They got hot at the right time, and all their guys are healthy. I don't think San Fran beats the Rams. I really don't.
So you think they take care of Detroit right away?
I do. I do think they take care of Detroit. And then, then they move on, and then they play whatchamacallit.
Because the Rams are going to be resting guys, right? Our boy Ginger Jesus is getting a start this weekend for the Rams.
I know.
Like,
I just like the
they're
Rams.
gonna
Man.
get
Rams got hot at the right time, and that's scary. When a team gets hot, everything's clicking. Scary. 49ers, I mean, but anybody who's going to go up against Baltimore is going to fucking lose. Baltimore is just coached so well. And they just break teams. Like they literally broke the 49ers, and then they go out there and then they break Miami. And it's like, oh, two teams that we thought were like Super Bowl contenders. Well, if they're Super Bowl contenders, the Super Bowl is going to go through Baltimore. You ain't winning. I don't see weaknesses with Baltimore, man. I think Baltimore is going to run the gauntlet and take it home. Everybody's going to give Lamar Jackson the respect that he deserves, which he rightfully so. And it's going to be the Rams coming out of the NFC. Yep, Adam agrees. It's going to be the Rams. It's and if it's not the Rams, sneaky Tampa Bay.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Baker.
Really?
It's a Baker. Dude, Tampa Bay's defense ain't bad. And their offense is starting to heat up. It's starting to heat up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Rich, as in the AFC, the team that I'm looking at that is like the sneaky coming hot at the right time for me is the fucking Browns. I love watching the Browns defense. I love watching Miles Garrett.
But here's the catch with the Browns. Joe Flacco throws interceptions. Turnovers are what's going to cost them. It's not the fact that the defense is going to kill them. But Joe Flacco throwing 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions is going to hurt, especially against the Ravens, because the Ravens will capitalize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean, they like you could see a scenario where they wouldn't match it. They would match up. They wouldn't have to face Baltimore until the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, Baltimore at this point, it seems destined that like you're looking at a Baltimore San Francisco matchup, which I wouldn't hate to see that, but I think what's just inevitably disappointing is just knowing that you had everything in your hands after that week, after that Buffalo game. And, I saw something. They are the only team in NFL history to start 10-1 and going to end the season with more than 5 losses. Like it just an epic collapse of proportions that I didn't anticipate at all. Just wild. Rich, we're gonna send out our trophy this week.
Nice. Congratulations to Coach Trav, baby. Congratulations.
Coach Trav from Losing Sucks. He's normally on here giving us the fantasy football advice. He took some of his own advice. Took it home. He took out our buddy Mike Giletto from the Fired Up podcast. But so this trophy will be it'll be getting shipped out to the Dallas Fort Worth area for Coach Trav to put on display. I told him he's got it for 360-ish days.
Yeah,
and we'll be able to get him on at some point to kind of do a season wrap up. And anything fantasy that you want to talk about? Are you into? Have you ever done the fantasy playoffs?
I have done.
Have you ever done it during the playoffs?
So I've done. It's on my fantasy league. I do their playoffs pretty much every year. It's a $200 league, and you basically pick one of each or like one of each position, but you can use 2 players from each team. So you kind of want to have the right guys in the right times. So you'll pick 2 quarterbacks. You definitely, it's hard because you get those bye week guys, and it's like, do you really want to take both quarterbacks on the number 1 teams that have buys? You're sacrificing points in the early weeks. So there's different strategies that you want to go at it. And usually I finish with like making my money back. So it's not too bad. And then there's other leagues where you can take that I got to message the guy, see if he's doing it, that it's 8 players every week. So you can pick 8 players, but you can't use them again. And the strategy in that is get your quarterbacks out early because you want as many points going as you can into the final week. And even if you don't have any quarterbacks left, you should have used all the quarterbacks when they're still available. Like the guys you think that are going to be out, boom, use them. Then the next week, you use those guys. But you want to just accumulate. And I always sucked at it because I didn't use that strategy. But most of the guys who won were going into the final week with like wide receiver, maybe a wide receiver 1 on the one team, throwing in the tight ends, and then having the defenses and the kickers. And they were so far ahead of the pack because their quarterbacks hit at the right time that they were able to get away with that and still win. So many different things you can do. It's fun.
It is fun.
I enjoy it.
I'm gonna try to look at it like that. I know the NFL will they have like a playoff challenge where like you pick guys, you pick like the one quarterback, the 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, the tight end, the defense, the kicker, and then it does like the multiple week multiplier. So like if you use if you have them in the lineup for the first week, if you have them in the lineup the second week, all the points double. It's just it's fun. It's just it's a fun way to kind of extend that and kind of keep it interesting. It's just cool. Any surprises this year, Rich, fantasy wise?
Damian Pierce sucking. Huge surprise. Surprise moving up. Rashad White being like the fantasy back number 3 overall. Like that was absolutely nuts. And Puka Nacua coming out of nowhere and just being an absolute monster. Probably having the best season at the wide receiver spot. Well, best rookie wide receiver spot in history. It's awesome to see from a 5th round guy. Kid's a gamer, kid plays, and it's just pretty awesome to see. A lot of people's leagues were ruined with Justin Jefferson and Nick Chubb and the countless injuries that fell upon us early, running back and just guys being out for an extended period of time. If you had Christian McCaffrey last week in your playoffs and you needed him going out of the game, that hurt you. Finishing with only 12 points, like that shit hurts, It just shows you could have the best players at every position, and fantasy is such a gamble. That's why I always say, don't veto trades, don't do this, don't let things play out because it's luck. It's 98% luck, 2%. I was able to. Other than that, it really is all luck. Like, I want to go into a league one year and be like, if the trade's remotely decent, I'm going to take it. Even if it's like a star guy, and just be like, let's see what happens. Like I'm rolling the fate dice. And I'll just roll. If it's higher than a 10, I take the trade. If it's lower, I decline. Just to see, because it's been that year. Like Stephon Diggs absolutely disappeared. Jamar Chase, nothing toward the end.
Yep.
Justin Jefferson, hurt, came back, had one great week. That was it. Doesn't help your playoff chances. Nick Chubb getting hurt, like fuck, that kills you. Josh Jacobs not playing for the last 3 weeks. How many people had him on his team? Aaron Jones disappearing from week 1 to week 14. Like, it was such a weird fucking year, man. And then ends, Laporta and Trey McBride coming out of nowhere. Like, always awesome to see. And then you had the rookie running backs who looked good. Jahmyr Gibbs got some run. But
looked more impressive than Bijan Robinson, right? Bijan Robinson got all the hype early on in the season, but Jahmyr Gibbs looked really, really impressive. And Adam, the whole stink on Travis Kelce, his play really fallen off. I feel like that is also a product of him being really one of the only viable options there.
Yeah.
And they really just have, like, defenses have just realized that you just got to cover him and let everybody else beat you.
Yeah, because there's nobody else there. Nobody else there.
I like it.
What can you do?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We'll look forward to the playoffs. It should be, we'll kind of. I'm sure we'll. Yeah, I don't know if we'll how much we're really anticipating that stuff, but like we'll break it down. We'll figure it out, and
We'll
try
make
to
it a
come
little
up with
lighter. You guys know it's tough when you love a team as much as we do, and when you're just spitting out redundancies of just miserable and being fucking a downtrodden bastard. It's like, you know what? What can you do? It happens.
Really is true.
But don't worry, we're still your boys you love.
Rich, you got anything else you want to talk about? You got anything good on the menu?
Not really.
You got a beer you want to recommend?
No, this is Alien Church by Tired Hands. Their IPA. I remember it was a lot better than when I first had it years ago. Not really a fan. I do recommend. I'm trying to think. Reacher on Amazon Prime. Great show. If you guys are looking for something fun.
I need a new show. Okay.
Dude, Reacher's so much fun, dude. On Amazon Prime. It's fun. It's just one of those shows you're gonna watch and like, haha, this is pretty dope. He just kicks a lot of ass. Obliterated, another fun show. It's just, again, don't go. Reacher's a little more serious and a little more darker, which I like. And Obliterated is just fucking nuts. So just have fun when you watch it. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Everything else has been good and, just chilling. I don't have anything else besides that.
I like it. I watched, so I've been on like a 30 for 30 kick on on Disney Plus. So the last two that I watched Four Falls in Buffalo, which is the four. It's about those 4 consecutive years where the Bills get to the NFC or the AFC Championship
and lose,
and then losing the Super Bowl, and wow, so some really cool behind the scenes interviews with Bruce Smith and Thurman Thomas and Scott Norwood and Jim Kelly and Frank Reich, and it really is a good watch, and it's not long. It's like an hour and a half. And then the other one that I watched was what's it called? It's called Big Shot, but it's about this guy that basically swindled his way into buying the Islanders, like in like the late 90s, but bought it with all like fake, like forged documents and fake money and wild stuff.
Did he really own it?
Guy for about a month before he couldn't make the payments. He was like saying like, oh, the money's here. Oh, it's tied up in Swiss banks and it's overseas and it's all tied up and I can't get access to it, but I have documentation that says that I have it. And they basically got to a point where they were like at one point he would send them a check and it was supposed to be for like $5 million and it would be for like $5,000. It'd be like, oh, I don't know what happened. Something must have happened. There were like some zeros that got missed, or the decimal point was off, or like we just constantly make these like bullshit excuses. And he actually was the owner of the team for like about I want to say like a couple months.
That's hilarious.
Wow, wild stuff. But yeah, just that kind of stuff. But I also realized in watching both of those back to back that they are it's the only time that's ever happened where they've had one team go to 4 consecutive finals. Yeah. So the Bills went to 4 Super Bowls, and I didn't realize how good the Islanders were in that late 70s, early 80s. They won 4 consecutive Stanley Cup finals.
Oh, damn.
And then they lost they lost the 5th one to the Oilers, to that Wayne Gretzky Oilers team. But they won 19 consecutive playoff series.
Damn.
In that stretch. Just wild stuff. But that's the only time that's ever happened, and both teams from New York.
Yeah. I like it.
Very cool.
I like it.
Rich, this was therapeutic, brother. Take us home.
Was. Well, you fucked around. You found out. Well, you stuck around. You fucked around.
Yeah,
You found
fucked
out.
around.
Sorry. Oh, man. It's just I'm fucking that up, too. Jeez, fuck you, Rich. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we love you, Adam. But all seriousness, it's fuck Nick Sirianni. Double fuck Brian Johnson. Double fuck Matt Patricia and Sean Desai together. Deshaun Watson, we're going to add another guy to our list. Wander Franco, you absolute piece of shit of a human being.
God.
And the girl's mother. You guys, there's a special place in hell for people like you. And I hope you die a terrible death. From the bottom of my heart.
I second all of that. That was
from the bottom of my heart. I hope you die a terrible death. And John Gannon, my hat's off to you, bud. You're not that dumb. Only if you could have made these adjustments in the Super Bowl. You piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Spike Eskins, James Harden, Ben Simmons. We'll see you later. I am Rich. That is Don. Why can't I? There we go. Yeah. We are drunk on broad. We love you. We'll be back, hopefully with happier times. But we'll bring it. We'll kick it. We'll lighten the mood next week. We'll talk about the Eagles playoffs and fan questions. What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to hear?
There we go.
Ask us anything. Let's do it. We're drunk on broad. Right. Love you, Philly.
Later, skaters.
Go Birds.
This is the Broad Street Line, where Philly sports fans leave all of their sports hot takes. Call 267-405-3062 and show us your passion for Philly sports. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday at 8:30 when we listen to your live reactions to the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
EAT!